So, hello. I'm gonna be doing a reading tonight. Um, and just see where this reading goes. Okay. All right. So I'm Shakeba, and welcome to Crystal Clear Readings. I am amateur. I'm just now starting out, so I do not know all of the 78 cards, and I am really amateur, really starting out. So I'm waiting to get some official tarot cards, of course. So I just wrote them down on like some index cards that I actually cut out in this shape. And yeah, I was gonna say something that I mentioned in one of my other videos. So this is like maybe the third separate reading that I did, or maybe the fourth separate reading that I did. Well, at night, this is probably like the third one that I did. All right, so I don't really want to change from that. Last night was a little bit relaxed. It was a little bit more chill. Then like earlier, what have you. So you have the rest of the day. You have a full day that's gone by, and that's great, and everything like that. So yeah, like I said, I'm an amateur reader. I have a Christian background, if that helps. My candle, I feel like I have to say this. My candle represents, and for me, it means life and enlightenment. Okay, so that's what I want to bring to the reading. Okay, I have these other little deck of cards that I'm going to be doing at the end of this reading. So I'm really interested in finding out what is going to be going on. This might take a little while because I don't know any of these tarot cards. So I have to look on my phone for the definitions, or I have some notes here on it. So I'm going to be going back and forth with that as well. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to be doing that. So I have a lot to learn when it comes to learning these cards and knowing how to read them and what type of reader I'm going to be and all this other stuff, okay? So, yeah, just bear with me. Now, anything that, doesn't resonate with you, I would say just dismiss it automatically. Anything that's confusing, just, the same thing, just dismiss it. Don't, even think about it, and, just continue on with, a regular way of how your agenda is, or if you just want to continue on, just dismiss those things, okay? And then you can also look up the cards yourself. Like this one here is Seven of Wands, so you can look it up yourself, on Google, and look for the definition yourself, so that you're not thrown off or anything. But if something resonates with you and you want to take that with you in this reading, then you should do that, Okay, I'm actually missing something, but I'm going to go and get it. No, I'm actually going to do two tonight. That's what I believe. That's what I think. I'm going to do two tonight because I did it earlier. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, so like I said, last night was a little bit laid back, and actually the other reading was too. The reading before that. So I think that's probably going to be the most, like, just chill mode, just kind of very, I don't want to say serious, but just a different mood for sure, maybe even a different energy. I was a little wild with my little spending today, with what I chose to eat and everything like that. I had a shake or something, almonds and some other stuff, just spending it up there, just doing a little too much, and I thought that maybe it would interfere with me even being able to do a reading. And I say that because I'm coming out a little bit outside of like my routine for right now, but the moment is still right now. It seems to be chill. It seems to be very calm and everything like that. So that's good. So yeah, again, like I said, I'm interested in knowing what this reading has to say and what's going on with it for this evening. Okay, so I won't be able to do readings every night, okay? So sorry about that. But whenever I get the chance to, or I don't know, so I can't guarantee, when exactly, but definitely, each week, it should be something. Okay. So forgive me if it's not consistently. Sometimes we have to go off of, I see that, the readers have to go off of how they're feeling. They may need a timeout or something like that, or maybe they're just not intuitively inclined at that time, or if they did a reading, it just wouldn't be good, it wouldn't be right. So I do see you need to go off of how you're feeling. And sometimes I heard them say they weren't even in the mood to do a reading, and they just felt led to do it. And the reason is because those that are listening to them, there's a message there for them. And so Spirit wanted them to get up and do a reading that's going to help certain people with their situations and stuff like that. I mentioned this in the other reading, but I'm not gonna do that. Like I said, I'm just gonna reiterate the fact that if anything is not resonating with you, or it's a bit confusing in this message or these readings, just automatically dismiss it and move on to the next point. Okay. Don't allow it to linger or anything like that, because there's nothing worse than confusion, or being thrown off about a message that you think is yours and it's not. So but sometimes things, they hit us directly, and they strike right at us, and it's like, okay, I know that message is for me. Okay. I said this in another reading, but I guess I'll say it again. But like I said, I do believe that I have had this happen, that some of the things that I do and or say, or like prophetic or what have you, I don't know, anyone's how familiar you are with that. You can look it up. Basically, foreseeing things like in the future, or calling things as they actually are, it being truthful. So like, I have been told that I have this gift by individuals that don't even know me, because they have a gift themselves to see it, or it's just something that they're intuitively picking up on. Okay. So when I'm talking about myself, like, I don't see this for me, or this is not my energy, or I'm talking about something about myself during the readings, I say that because it's possible that it may be true for the reader. For those who are listening to the readings, it may pertain to you in some type of way, shape, form, or fashion. It may be a fact as well for you, or may be true in some way, shape, form, or fashion for you as well. Okay, so definitely, you can put yourself in that situation if that's what you see. Or like I said, sometimes things just really strike at us, and we just know that that part or that portion is for us. That piece of information is for us, and it resonates with us. Okay, in a striking way. Okay, so I just wanted to make that clear. I just I actually make it known, or what have you. Put notice for that, making it known. So okay, so I'm gonna get started with this. I don't really know where this is gonna take us. Again, like I said, I'm gonna be going back and forth with these cards for the meanings, defining them, and I'll be going back and forth and things like that, as far as trying to figure out like what it is about. Okay, so the shuffling with these cards have been a bit of a challenge, because they're just so thick, and they're not the typical size, but I kind of wanted that. I've seen various different cards, and I just like the bigger size, but I might get a regular size cards for tarot, for sure. It just depends. If I get lucky enough to get the big ones, I'm gonna be happy about that. But I don't know. I'll see. I won't, put too much emphasis on it. So it's kind of hard for me to do this, but I'm going to try to do it as much as I possibly can, and being careful here with this candle. I think I just foreseen something, but no, really. Oh, God forbid. So I'm just going to, just try to, I'm going to just, put it here. I think I do a little bit better, with my hands. Just like this. Yeah. You know what I think I need to do is like cut the deck. So like in 3. So I've seen that happen before in reading. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright. Alright. Alright, and then shuffle it just a little bit more. Just because I want to make sure that it is. So this is the last thing I'm gonna do here. Is do this. Alright. So I think the way that I did it last night was pretty good. So I think there was like actually 4 in a row, and then I just went down like 3. Because I'm still learning this and everything. So I think it was okay. So the first card out is Knight of Wands. Okay, and I'm gonna put that there. So let's look up the definition for that. Knight of Wands, swords. No. Okay, so Knight of Wands, action, adventure, fearless. Okay, so action, adventure, fearless. So this is something that definitely that I can resonate with. Okay, so me taking action and doing this. This is me starting out in this. So I feel like I'm definitely taking action because I actually was waiting to do it. You know, so since like January. Actually longer with the tarot reading. I actually like almost 2 years ago was thinking about it. So of course this is something that's adventurous for me for sure. And then fearlessness. So yeah, me being fearless, you know, and the fact that there are other things that are going on in my life, and a lot of things that could, you know, be like, oh well, you know, why are you starting now, or just, you know, hesitating or something like that. So that's definitely a card that resonates with me. So the next card that will be beside it is King of Cups. King of Cups. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if I can find that. Hmm. 36597 page. Knight. Okay, no, it's not a knight. It is a King of Cups, so I can't find it here. So I'm gonna use my phone to look for it. Oh my gosh. I have to turn it on. I turned it off. But it might be somewhere else. I might have written it down. So it's King of Cups. King of Cups. Okay. Queen of Cups. King of Cups. Okay, so I found it. King of Cups and upright. Compassion, control, balance. Okay, yeah. So that's definitely how I feel, or my energy is compassion for this, you know, as it being somewhat related to like how I feel like my direction in life is. So, and feeling compassion for what it is, the service of doing it or something like that. Control, definitely. I do feel like I have control in this situation, as far as like the timing and like when I do this, how I do this, when the availability is, all that stuff. I have control with that. And it doesn't interfere, or, you know, it won't interfere because I can switch over the time and all that. So I feel like I have control with that. Also, in another way that's not coming to me, but balance. Definitely. I do feel like this is a way of me balancing my life. I could have done a number of other things, but I think I'm really satisfied with this move. This is one of the top three or top five that I really feel like is satisfying to like my soul, my spirit, and my life. And that is a good balance. It's a good way of me, having my life balanced. Okay, so this is how, I do feel like this card here is my energy, the King of Cups, and right now, and that it does, resonate with me at this time. Okay, so the next card is King of Wands. King of Wands. Okay, so Pentacles, Swords. All right. I'm sorry, I really apologize about all of this, but getting started and this, yeah, is King of Wands. Okay, so it's Page of Wands, Queen of Wands. You have Queen, but not the King of Wands. I don't like that. I think my phone is finally up and working. I'm looking for the King of Wands. It says Kings with an S, and that was obviously not a typo, but it was obviously, a mix-up there. Like, or not even a mix-up. It was a typo, but it's not typed. So it says King of Wands. I'm looking for the King of Wands. I think that's significant to this reading. I see how, some of the other readers would, incorporate even certain mistakes or certain things that are going on in the reading to allow it to be as significant for that reading. So I'm looking for the King of Wands. If you know what that means, then perhaps, you can, think about that either for yourself or just for this particular reading. And just give me a moment here. I'm looking for and it's the King of Wands. Okay, so let's go here and see what it says. King, right? King of Wands. An upright, big picture leader, overcoming challenges. Okay, so again, this is definitely something that is my energy. King of Wands, meaning big picture. I do get the big picture. This is at least for this, what I'm embarking on, what I'm doing, I get the big picture in this. I do. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I just burped there. But I'm trying to think if that was all the shake, the almond shake, all of that stuff. But anyways, big picture. Yeah, I do get the big picture here. It's taking some time and taking some days and all this stuff, but because when I started, I'm thinking, oh, this is something kind of simple. Not simple, but just like, I don't know. It's like I'm getting pieces and more pieces of this every day about this, and I'm doing this like 3 times a day. Like, so the readings like 3 times a day. So like seriously, so on top of like some other things that I have to do and and stuff like that. So that's pretty big. That's pretty interesting. So it says big picture, leader, overcoming challenges. I definitely feel like I'm leading in this situation, and I'm excited about that. I'm happy about that. Again, I like the sense of being in control of what I'm doing or what's being done in my life. I feel like I'm leading in the right direction, being led in the right direction. with this overcoming challenges. Yeah, definitely. Because there was a challenge to getting this jumped and started. And I have to admit the fact that I procrastinate a lot. What's another word? I just procrastinate a lot with things and would wait and would cancel and because I don't have this kind of a person that is like want a lot of things. I'm sorry, want things to be right or really organized. And if I don't have like the slightest things, and then it's like or certain things, I'll have to cancel. Because I want it to be a certain particular way. So I'm like of course like in this like I would need the right tarot cards, like the appropriate tarot cards, the right things, the right atmosphere, the right whatever whatever all everything. But with this I have it's more so the timing, like and I gotta be careful of not over talking here, but there's more so the timing. Like I need to make sure that well because okay, so this was 2 years, so that's a challenge because like it would took so long for it to be 2 years, um so I'm just happy about this. And then also there are other things in my life that I have on hold, or I haven't done, or I'm haven't gotten started with it just because I just didn't feel like that's something I'm ready for or something like that. So I will procrastinate. So this is definitely something that like a challenge that overcoming challenges. So to have overcame this, even though it's like the smallest thing, it's not the smallest thing, but it's like, oh wow, that's something you should have just done, so I'm really grateful to the fact that I finally decided to do this. So I can definitely see this King of Wands is definitely a card that it's my energy right now. So it's the King of Wands, I'm sorry, the Knight of Wands was the first card out, the King of Cups, and the King of Wands. So all of these are cards that that resonate with me, but I'm just noticing and striking and information here: Knight, King, and King. So that's like top, right? I still have so much to learn about these tarot cards, okay? But all of them are definitely my energy, okay? And it's all positive and it's all good, so it's all great. Okay, so this is in reverse. It's the Two of Wands in reverse. So we're gonna find out what this is about, what it means. Okay, so let's find out what this is. Two of Wands. So I want to do from here. Let's see if I can find it pretty quick. If not, Cups, Pentacles, Swords, Two of Wands, two, right? Five. Oh, I seen it somewhere else. I need a better way. Okay, 7. We have all these. Queen, Page, 3. Oh, 2. There it is. Okay, so Two of Wands. Oh, and in reverse means fear of change, plain safe, bad planning. Fear of change, plain safe, bad planning. Fear of change, plain safe, and bad planning. I wonder what that means, because fear of change. Do I have a fear of change? I was excited about this. I was. Fear of change. I mean, I have fear of change of another situation that I've actually had to put off, or not even put off, but like take some time from. Fear of that kind of change. I'm really not in that energy because I feel like I'm doing everything that I need to do to bring some sort of balance even to that situation. That is actually something very, very close to my heart. And it's like I'm never ever going to not, put my time and energy in that, because it means everything to me, so let me see. And then playing safe. Well, I'm definitely would be playing safe here. So, with this choice and decision, there's no interferences that could, disrupt what I keep as a priority in my life. Because with this, I can just switch it around. It's kind of like having a job where you can work at any certain times. You can kind of be selective about the times and the days of the weeks. It changes ups and down or whatever. It doesn't stay the same, but you get to choose your hours and stuff like that. So something like that. But yeah, no, I'm content with that. With what I'm doing and playing it safe. And other things, it doesn't interfere with anything that I have going on in my life or jeopardize in any way. So that's good. Bad planning. I don't really resonate with this, especially when it comes to this, or I can't think of anything else. I don't really have plans for things like that. I mean, like, too many plans. The schedule's pretty, regular. So I don't know. I wanted to say that I don't think that this is my energy. That was the first thought. Sorry, I apologize for that. But my first thought was when I saw this fear of change, playing safe, and bad planning, just automatically I'm thinking, no, this isn't my energy. So what it could be is that this is the energy of someone you know, or someone that knows you, that's in your energy, or that you're around, or they're around you in some way, shape, form, or fashion that's coming up. Okay, but I did try and, put it to my life, or, to myself. Okay, but it could be the energy of someone that is in your life in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Okay, so the next card, in the reverse, is Page of Wands. Okay, so we're gonna put this right on top of Knight of Wands. So let's do, what is it, King of Wands? I'm sorry about the humming. I apologize. I'll try to, keep that all together, so I'm not doing that. Page of Wands. Okay, I'm so sorry. I just did it again. You would not believe it was on the first page. Okay. I'm probably tired. Okay. So Page of Wands, in the reverse, lack of direction, procrastination, creating conflict. Oh, wow. Okay. Lack of direction, procrastination, creating conflict. So if the first card is mine, which is Knight of Wands, I wish I could find it. I'm going to have to. It's good. Remembering not to, do my little over obsessive little habit here, just because time is passing by and it's just like, okay, I don't know what to do with this. Let me see, is it Page of Wands? So it's Page of Wands. Is it up backwards? Wait, I don't understand. Yeah, it's Page of Wands, but it's Knight of Wands is what I'm looking for. 9. Where's the other one? Wouldn't it be on here? Oh, okay. You know what? It might be on this other page that I have. No, it's a Pentacles. Ace of Swords. I'm looking for this Page of Wands. Oh, no. I'm looking for a Knight of Wands. I thought like that I found it or something. Like that I read it from like here or something. Alright, let's just look on my phone because I can't find it. And it's taking me forever to do it. I just want to like go over. So this is what I mean, like having to go Knight of Wands. Let me see. Oh, so Knight of Wands in the upright is action, adventure, fearlessness. And then the next card to clarify it, would be Page of Wands. So in the reverse, 4, 7, 10, A's, 8. I'll see. I keep doing this. Page of Wands, in the reverse, lack of direction, procrastination, creating conflicts. That's interesting because the Knight of Wands in the upright, action, adventure, fearlessness, which I said that I, I feel like that's my energy. But let me see. In the reverse, it means lack of direction. I'm sorry, in the reverse, Page of Wands, which is the next card to clarify Knight of Wands, is the first card out, actually, right under it. So it says, in the reverse, lack of direction, procrastination, creating conflict. Okay, so I want to be completely honest here, or yeah, okay. So sometimes we can make decisions, like say I went to go to school for something, say I was like married and I had kids like under 13, under 12, under 11. Okay, so you're talking 10, 8, 7, 6, I had like 2 or 3 kids, okay, and I'm married. And I decided to go to school for like nursing or something like that. And then before that, I was like a home mom, stay at home mom or something like that. And I decided to go to school full time. So let's say it was either in the daytime or nighttime. Let's say it was in the daytime. So going to school full time for like nursing or something like that. So that means it's like a full day, and then you have to like take your kids to school, and you still have to try and help out, with the schedule and everything like that. Or something like this, where you are already being occupied, you are already very much, involved in something that means the world to you, something like that, a marriage, and you have children, you have kids, they mean everything to you, okay? But you decided to do, something else, or take something else on, something like that, or maybe I have to put it that way because I'm trying to give an understanding. So sometimes we make decisions that I did mean what I said, and I feel like everything is balanced with me, because in making the decision to do this, to go in this direction, because it's kind of lopsided a little bit, or not a lot, but not a little bit, but it's kind of lopsided when I have a situation that, I'm pouring a lot of my time into and expecting certain type of results, but I'm not getting those results, because, there's different delays and different things that are, blocking the balance in that situation. And there's a lot of hope, but, it doesn't end up being what I need it to be, or I have to wait a long time for it or something like that. So that's kind of like unbalanced. So like with this, like I said, I'm doing 3 readings a day, and it's like almost like effortless, or it's like it's nothing to me, like I'm just doing it, and it's not nothing, but like it's not so much trouble. If it was, I wouldn't be doing 3 of them, okay? So so for me it creates balance. But looking at this Page of Wands in the reverse, with it saying lack of direction, procrastination, creating conflict. So yeah, that's because sometimes we do make decisions that, even though I was in a place where I'm pouring out like all of myself into a situation and just waiting and things like that, it was more benefiting to that situation that I was doing that I was holding it down, and in that way, even if I was waiting, somehow that situation was resolved or taken care of, but for me, I wasn't, I'm lacking, at times that I probably shouldn't be lacking, you know what I mean? It was more like, I don't want to say more given to the situation, but it was, more of me giving myself to the situation than I wanted to. Okay. Or yeah, something like that, and so I'm kind of like lacking, and so because of that, that situation is lagging, or that situation, may be missing some things, or just the situation is just not the same, I guess, without me being involved or being so open and spending as much time and effort and energy into it like I was, but now with this situation, and a few other things I've added to like my agenda and schedule, I'm, it's taken away from, that situation, or, and so, I would be, I guess, in this energy of lack of direction, because more for that situation, like if I want to improve that situation, then it would be, just be pouring more into that situation, I guess. I'm just trying to make sense of it. Procrastination, creating conflict. And let's just say this isn't my energy. Let's just say this is the energy of someone in my energy, or someone that I know, whatever, or what have you. But I'm trying to, incorporate this, because sometimes we do, like, if I want that other situation to improve, then it would be, either, doing less readings or something like that, or doing it lesser times, like not every day or not every other day or something like that. And spending more time in this other, where I was, and in this area that I was, pouring in more of my energy, more of myself, and all of that. Just looking at, because since it was the top of my list, top priority, number one thing in my life, meaning so much to me, if I wanted to, really, fix that, then I would need to, understand that this and what I'm doing, just being completely honest and about it, then I would need to like do more withdrawal, or maybe a complete withdrawal or something like that. But again, it puts me at an unbalanced, state, and then just having to figure out what to do, or with my emotions, and just about the situation, so as far as it, and obviously this is about something very close to me and very personal to me, so just trying to figure out the imbalance, or what to do with that, how to fix that, how to make it not like that, but that takes a lot of energy and stuff like that, but it's okay, I'll end up coming to the right conclusion and answers about that. Okay, I'm sorry about rambling on about this. And then procrastination, this is a way of me procrastinating, because I'm doing this, I'm so busy, and I'm just with this, and with the other things that I have also added to my agenda. I mean, I'm busy, like I have things that I am doing, so this is a way of me procrastinating with with my manifestations, even with this other situation that is top priority and the main important thing in my life, not really putting a lot of time into it, and trying to manifest things in that area, or or putting more of my effort and time and energy into that. I'm just procrastinating to do that with this and other things that are now on my schedule. And then creating conflict, so by sticking with this, I am creating conflict here, because this is an issue, especially when it's 3 times a day. And then you have a few other things that are added on to your agenda. So yeah, that's creating conflict there. That's also what comes with this Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is, in the upright, is action, adventure, and fearlessness. On this adventure, fearlessness and action. There's the Page of Wands in the reverse, which is lack of direction, procrastination, and creating conflict about something. something else. Obviously, it would be this, but it would be, for me, it wouldn't be this, it would be something else in my life. So I'm just going to, end it there because we're already at 39 minutes here with this reading. So I picked this up and I have the Nine of Swords here. Okay, so on top of this is the King of Cups. So let's go back and go over what the King of Cups is. And I'm just going to claim this as my energy, and at least in this reading, because I, tried to break it down. Okay, so King of Cups. King of Cups. Oops. Okay, King of Cups in the upright. Compassion, control, balance. So again, I said that I identify with that, or that, that resonates with me, the King of Cups. Compassionate about this, control, feel like, I have control over this whole thing if I want to do it, the time schedule, all of that. Balance, this is something that I feel like gives me balance. Okay, so that's the King of Cups. I feel like that is definitely my energy. So Nine of Swords. Let's go to Nine of Swords and find out. This is a card right up under the King of Cups, so it's supposed to bring some sort of clarity there for the King of Cups. Nine of Swords in the upright is anxiety, hopelessness, and trauma. Okay, yeah, so I there's so much to learn. Like, so there's the major arcanas, the minor arcanas, and then they're separated by suits of swords. When it talks about the swords, when it talks about the wands, when it talks about the cups, when it talks about the major arcanas and what they stand for, what they are. So I have so much to learn, and it would really help me in defining and really intuitively being able to read these cards. Okay, so that doesn't, the cups, yeah, that doesn't, I'm not understanding this right here. So I mean, just straight out, like Nine of Swords in the upright. No, I'm sorry, yeah, Nine of Swords. Let's go back to Swords. That's the cups. That would have been not an incorrect reading there, but anxiety, hopelessness, and trauma. So nine of Swords. So I'm anxiety, hopelessness, and trauma. So okay, so with that, with me having this balance, and with me, having taken on something that I'm, feel like I have control over, and all of that, also that comes with it is anxiety. I do have some anxiety about the fact that I'm not, with this situation, that I consider as my first priority, and where I've been at so long, for a long time, that I've been having other things on hold like this. Going back 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, this is something that, what is considered to be a top priority for me, is something that I definitely, a reason why I would definitely was on hold to doing this. There's another reason. That would be a reason why I would have anxiety, is because of this first initial priority, something that I take as very important in my life, something that I hold very close and dear to my heart. So I'm gonna have anxiety about that during the day, and as time is going on, as I'm doing these readings and going on about other things that has something to do with my agenda, I'm gonna have anxiety and thinking about it. I'm gonna even have some grief or something, or just thinking about it, just like, feeling bad or something, like, or like, wow, what's going on, because like I'm not there as much, or I'm not, putting in as much time and effort and energy in it. So I'm going to be thinking about it. And, anxiety for like, okay, what is missing from that situation, or, is something going to come back on me because I'm not there, that type of thing. Okay, so let's see, hopelessness. I was going to say something, but I'm not sure if I should do that. All right, so, and again, as I'm, doing these readings, you can, if this is something that resonates with you, then, that's, then you can take that as, a message for you or something. And then if not, just dismiss it. You know, if it's not for you, it doesn't resonate with you, or if it's confusing, then just dismiss it. That's the easiest thing to do. And then it says hopelessness. So I'm not gonna lie, I do feel completely that whole word, because again, like I said, that situation is the number one priority in my life. Like if I could just, but because there's a separation between myself and this situation that is top priority. Um, I have to just deal with the fact that there is a separation. I have to deal with the fact of what the reasons are for the separation. But if there wasn't, and if I could, be totally spending most of my time or all of my time with, this thing that I hold so close to my heart, and keep as so important to me, of great importance and number one priority, I would rather spend most of my time there. But since I've already taken this on, I could fit this in some way, somehow, at the appropriate times. But I would rather be there, you know what I mean, be with that situation, that circumstance, or be with something that is close to my heart, and that being something that's of top priority. I would rather be there. So because that's not happening, and this is kind of like secondary or thirdary or something like that, there is the feeling of like hopelessness. I feel like hopeless, because the situation is still staggered, is still stagnant, is not moving or going anywhere, and all there is a bunch of hope and wishful thoughts about things moving forward and moving ahead and all of that. And because it isn't happening, and this seems kind of like a backward step, but it's still a careful move and a managed move, so that's pretty good. But at times it can seem like it's like hopeless, hopelessness there, because my major goal is for things to move forward in the is for things to move forward with what I hold close to my heart, what I keep as first top priority. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, there is that feeling there. So there's that, and then trauma. I'm just gonna add it on and tag it on that's truthfully, the feeling there as well. So trauma can be, I guess, in several different ways. You can get trauma from just several different things. It could be in a lighter sense. You know what I mean, or medium, whatever. This situation I'm referring to, this personal in my life. It is a traumatic experience because of the separation, wanting to be with someone that is very, very means everything to you, very, very special in your life, and you feel like you can't move on, or you can't go on, or you can't be without this person, or and that you need to be with them, and then you can't because of certain circumstances and situations that prevent you from doing that. That can be traumatic, over a length of time. You know what I mean? You just constantly not being able to be with that person. It can be traumatic, okay? So yeah, I would say that this is definitely an energy for myself, or definitely something that is I can resonate with, or that goes with me and for me in my life, okay? So that's the Knight of Swords. Okay, so the next card over is the King of Wands, and the reverse is the Five of Wands, okay, on top of the King of Wands. So let's go back to King of Wands and see what's going on here. King of Wands. King of Wands in the upright means big picture, leader, overcoming challenges. So I did say that that's the energy that I felt like I'm in. I'm starting to get the big picture, at least about this journey here. Every day I'm getting pieces that, hey, this is a really big deal, or this is a really good thing that you're doing. It's more than what you're thinking or what you thought, and then leader, definitely feeling like, being a leader and leading my life, or, instead of just, sitting back or something like that, or just being a leader, in some way, with this direction. Okay, and overcoming challenges. This is huge because I procrastinate so much. One of the reasons is because of my top priority, that I've been talking about, and something that's of great importance in my life. So that's one of the reasons why I procrastinate. It's really mainly the main reason, but for other reasons as well. I like to be very much prepared for whatever it is that I'm doing. So if I'm not, then I'll have to cancel or not go forward with something because I don't have everything that is needed or that I feel is needed for me to get started with it. So for me to have this King of Wands card here, as far as overcoming challenges, is something as well that I identify with, or is resonates with, because I can procrastinate a lot. So for me to have come to this point where, this is a 2 year idea that came to me about 2 years ago, and then now I'm here, it's a good thing, meaning that I've overcame the challenge of not, of letting it just be in the back of my mind, or be, somewhere, and I'm not, doing anything with it. I'm just procrastinating still, oh, I'll get around to it or something like that, so I overcame that challenge. Okay. And then 5 of Wands. So let's see. 5 of Wands, but this is in the reverse. So avoiding conflict, respecting differences. Yeah, so I am, in the energy of avoiding conflict, when it comes to this situation. Picking up that there's a possibility of there being conflict with this situation. You know, because of me taking these steps and moving in this direction, I have been picking that up. I'm just like, oh yeah, but this decision that I made, and I kind of feel like because of the weight and the hold and everything with this first thing that's of priority for me, that there's an understanding, a mutual understanding, or understanding that is without saying or something like that, that me doing something like this isn't like a big deal, or is not like such of an interruption or something like that, because of the weight and the situation, but it's not me like leaving, that situation, or abandoning it, or walking away, it's just, something else that I'm choosing to do in this time of waiting. So, I have been picking up on that, well, conflict, and then, trying to avoid it, by not addressing certain things, or not, having my mind on it, or not being in that way of thinking to be conflictual, to be like, oh, and not being like that, just avoiding that. Respecting differences, and just respecting the fact that if that this situation with this situation, if it's for that side, if it's like them feeling some type of way, or not liking it because I've withdrawn a lot, or and are withdrawn, and they're not so happy about that, like just respecting the differences. Like I can respect that, I get that, I understand it, but at the same time, I'm not completely leaving. This is not a permanent thing, or like I'm going to fit everything in with the way that, eventually, I'm going to get around to it, or I'm going to come back around. Like with this, I can take a vacation, mini vacation. I can, come back whenever, I have the time to come back, so because I have this number one priority of importance in my life. So I'm able to do that. So I feel like, some point I'm going to do that, take some time off to make sure that I'm tending to, what is very extremely important in my life. And, so just respecting the fact that, this situation that is of great importance to me, number one priority in my life, that it may be feeling like I don't like this very much, or feeling like, I've detached myself or something like that. Feeling like, I've withdrawn, or feeling not so happy about it, not so good about it, So that's what I think about possibly, but I don't want to mention that. But yeah, so respecting the fact that of the differences, but and acknowledging that there are differences, because I obviously, because I feel like to be in this direction because of, this type of, imbalance. But if the situation was to change and there was no separation, then, this whole thing honestly would change for me, and I would definitely, take some time off or what have you, and then, just come back when the time is right. Okay. Because again, for me, I have a top priority and of importance, something that's very close and dear to my heart. And if I'm not separated from, this situation, this person's, then I would be with them, spending time with them, and, putting my efforts, energy, and that, and with that situation, circumstance, and with those persons, so so it would be different. But during this time of separation and waiting, that is prolonged, this is something that I'm choosing to do. Okay, so I'm hoping that, with all of what I'm saying, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, you're able to see, something about your situation. If it is resonating with you, or if it is something that strikes out to you, or that's striking, or something that sticks with you and just, somehow resonates with you, or, and again, anything that doesn't, then just dismiss it, or anything that's confusing or something, you're not sure if, like, that's the message for you, or that's how you should be looking at a situation, just dismiss it automatically, okay? For sure. Okay, so that was the Five of Wands. And then of course the King of Wands was going back up there. I hate to do this again. King of Wands, big picture, the leader, overcoming challenges. And that's, the energy that I feel like I've been in. Getting the big picture, what is it? Feeling like a leader. I'm sorry. Let's do this. Feeling like a leader and feeling like I'm overcoming challenges, and then the Five of Wands, trying to avoid, certain conflicts. And then I'm sorry, because it went somewhere else, the phone. Okay, I pressed something else. Let me see. Five of Wands in the reverse. Avoiding conflict, respecting differences. So I feel like I've definitely been doing that, recognizing that there is, a possible issue or a possible problem or something like that, because of, this move, and this, to take on this journey to do this, or applying myself in other directions, other than where I was, completely. I was completely there and everything like that. So aside from this, there's a few other things I've added to, like my agenda and things like that. But I still have my heart and mind always on the first priority, the things that are first priority in my life. I do, and I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna like overlook those things. I'm gonna be, looking at those things and taking care and trying to put, effort, time, and energy into them as well. I feel like, it's been so long that I'm going to figure it out how to do that in some way, because I've been doing it like over a year, 2 years, so I know what I need to do. I'm not going to not know what to do in that situation. Okay, so with the Five of Wands, I'm just being careful to take notice of, the differences of opinions, the difference of, being respectful of it as well, and taking care of, just being fair, just being fair, and not just in my own world, and, not being observant of someone else's feelings and of the situation that I've currently just kind of like left from, or like, I'm sorry, taking some time away from in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Okay. Taking that into consideration, because it's important, because sometimes we can do things on our own and by ourselves, and we just get so caught up in what we're doing that, we don't even, consider other people's feelings, or us taking ourselves away from certain situations or circumstances that, feel left out, or something like that, or feel like, we've, just feel, like we've just abandoned them or something like that, or, walked away or something like that. But then, taking the time out to also analyze the situation, to just say, I know that, this is the situation, but because of the wait and because of the separation and the waiting time, and there's nothing basically that we can do because everything is stagnant, or there's all these different blockages, all these different obstacles, and we don't know of a guaranteed time when things will change so that there isn't a separation. There's things that need to be done in the time of waiting, so, and this is, for me, this is one of them. And, also understanding that there's a way of imbalance for me, and this pretty much kind of helps me with being more balanced. But I'm not going to forget about something that is very of great importance to me, and that is of top priority, so that they don't have anything to worry about, trying to reassure them that, I don't have anything to worry about, but just because the situation is the way it is right now, this is how, this is just something that, I'm just choosing to do, to create some sort of balance, and, something to do that, would help, with me and my spirit and my, mental well-being and all of that. So, and hoping that, eventually, the situation will, it'll even out, and everything. So, anywho, there's this card here, Two of Wands, that is actually in the reverse. Okay, so let's check that out with this card that is in the reverse. Two of Wands in the reverse. Fear of change, playing safe, and bad planning. So I think I tried to, match this up to my, how I feel. Fear of change, playing safe, bad planning. I guess I do have a fear of change. I mean, like, that does exist to a certain extent. It does. Yeah, like what's happening, or like just trying to understand about the situation that I've just like, withdrawn myself from to a certain extent. No. That's not what I want to say. The fear of change would be actually me moving further away from this, what is so close to my heart and what is so important to me and what is number one priority. It's like, what would be, how is this, would be, if I'm not careful, then with this and some of the other things that I've just newly put on my agenda and my schedule, if I'm not careful, then I could, it could move me further away from what is important to me, what is so very, 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 very much important to me. And so that would be a reason for a fear of change, fearing this type of change. Like I said, it's 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, where, I thought about doing tarot reading and getting started with it, but I didn't, and one of those reasons is because of, something that I'm holding close to my heart that is of first number one priority to me. So I just, didn't go forward with that because of a fear of just, getting further away from it. But at the same time, wanting to, make changes or decisions that would risk that, walking away or being away from or changing, my priorities. You know what I mean? Because I want to keep this number one. So, definitely can see the fear of change there. Playing it safe. This still is something, me doing this is me playing it safe. So I'm content with that. And then also too, just making sure that, with these new changes, that I am always being mindful to keep the first and number one thing that is of importance to me, number one priority. At the end of the day, or like in a day's time, or as the days are going on in the weeks, that I'm keeping things at its top priority. I'm keeping what is number one in my life top priority and not letting it change. No matter what. Okay, so that's Two of Wands. And it says bad planning. So I'm not sure. I guess I don't want to, make any admittance here, but bad planning. Let me see if I can put this in a lighter sense. Bad planning, man. I mean, I guess if I had to consider it, because there's other things that I could have been doing. Basically, in short, there are other things that I could have been doing than this, because like I said, this is like the third reading that I'm doing, and this is like the third day that I've been doing this, and each day has been like 3 readings. Okay, so you can see some obsessiveness there. Okay, but I could have did something a little bit lighter, do something lighter, some things that are lighter, or doing this in a lighter sense. Like just doing like 1 reading a week or something like that, or a few readings, throughout the week, but just one. Or maybe having done something else completely different that would have been lighter. So like that's how I can relate it to like bad planning, because it just takes up a lot of time, energy, effort. Well, more than because it's taking from the first priority things in my life, and but like I said, I'm gonna have time to get back to it because there is a separation there. So that's the Two of Wands. I can definitely, identify with that, or see how it can resonate to my life right now with the fear of change, playing it safe, and then, even the bad planning. Okay, so I'm going to claim that as my energy or something that is going on with me. Okay, so all the readings are not the same, but anyway, I have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, so on top of the Two of Wands. Okay, so on top of this Two of Wands with the fear of change, playing it safe, and bad planning, to clarify it, is the Nine of Pentacles. So let's check this out with the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So Knight of Pentacles, 10, 9. So Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Reckless spending, living beyond means, false success. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I definitely can. Okay. I definitely can see this. Okay, so it's reckless spending. So yeah, so all of what I've been saying, this would be a bit reckless. And me choosing to go in this direction. So because, I could have chosen to do something less. That is spending less of my energy, less of my time, less of my efforts. Okay, put in it. Okay, definitely you can see that. And then living beyond my means, living beyond means. Yeah, okay, so this is a little bit luxury. I'm having a ball here, but, with doing all of this, living beyond means, I want to see, because, like, when you're living beyond your means, you're, like, spending more than you actually have. Okay, so I think I get that, because it should be spent, in my opinion, or the way that I look at it, more effort should be. I really do. This is the all honesty. So now I'm being, like what I said, crystal clear reading. So I should be, because anything that is on your top list, number one priority of great importance, you definitely, you should be putting all your time and effort into that. And I would say, and believe it with all of your heart and not look back. No matter what it is, no matter what's going on, some of these things, if it's about family or someone that you love very dearly, a spouse or someone or a situation that you really, really, really care about, mainly like family or a spouse or someone like that in your life, someone of great purpose in your life, and especially if you feel like it's about your purpose, definitely that's something you shouldn't look back on other things about, but you should wholeheartedly, pursue that. So I'm gonna agree with that. That's definitely something that you shouldn't, you know, turn back from, or like, not for any reason. But the thing is, there's no excuse for that. I say all of that. I do feel like I spent a lot of time with in that energy, of what I just said, not looking back, not letting anything interrupt or stop or, interfere with, you pursuing something like that. I spent some time in that, I would say a lot of time, like over a year, something like that, in and out, off and on, in and out of that energy. I would say in and out of that energy. For over a year and 2 years, so I know what it is to be there and to stay there and everything like that. But I still think that you should never, ever, ever give up. I don't feel like I'm giving up in this situation. I just don't. I don't feel like I'm giving up in this situation, not at all. But I do feel like, if it's something that you is very close and near and dear to your heart, that you should, continue to keep the faith and to not give up, and however much time that which should be a lot, that you can dedicate to that situation, that you should do that, and consistently would be best, and not letting it drop or fall, because you run the risk of, things changing, for that situation, and you withdrawing from that situation, to something else, catching your attention or what have you, and before you know it, you totally withdrawn, or you've withdrawn so much that, you're just like, you don't know how or where things, got you to that point. So that's the thing that, I'm always, on the lookout for, and why I do a lot of holds and not, moving forward with certain things, because I don't want that to happen. You know what I mean? So I still believe, since I did that maybe perhaps, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to be moved so easily, or possibly at all. That would be the best thing, from, this, or, keeping in mind what is of top priority, of number one priority in my life. Okay. I don't, I'm not interested in, moving away from keeping this at top priority, and, putting all of my best effort and energy into it. So what was I talking about? Let me see. Reckless spending. Yeah. So I do feel like, this is definitely, compared to what I just said, this is what can be considered, kind of like spending, overspending, doing too much, because what is important is spending your time and efforts and energy and what is of top priority or main importance, and being consistent with that. So that I believe, and I agree with, it's just, I feel like with the separation and with the waiting time, which nothing should, nothing should interfere with what I just said. Like, just keep it consistent, and however much time, just continue to. And there are things that you do have to do, but whatever your percentage is, whatever the time is, just leave it at that. Don't change it, because then you run the risk of changing things for that situation, or changing that situation, circumstance, person, or whatever, not being top priority in your life. Okay, and other things taking place of that, and then they're like 5 or 6 or 10 are not even on the list. Okay, so yeah, but once you've spent so much time, I don't know, I'm just hoping here, but I know how it goes. Like, I know I'm actually 40 now, so I know that's gonna, shock a whole bunch of people. Just it'll be okay. Just get some ice or get some water or something like that. And I'm just playing. But yeah, I mean, once you've seen certain situations over and over and over again. And this is not to say that I'm like an expert in life or something like that. I just kind of feel like I understand things, but I'm spending a lot of time here. So in the reverse, the Nine of Pentacles. It's about reckless spending or doing too much or spending money too much in an area or something like that. Living beyond means. I think that was the next one that I was on, actually. Living beyond means, and then false success. So even though this is great, this is just really great. I don't want to cheese too much. Okay, this is really good. But and to have, even just this, like, I don't care. I don't want to say I don't care. If there's not that many, people, I'm not gonna be interested in like numbers and all this other stuff. I'm pretty sure it's great, when and if it gets there, but that's something of my interest. My thing is actually doing the readings and uploading them, getting them out. That's pretty much, my satisfaction there, or me being content. And for me, that's success too. But when it comes to like what I consider as, something that is of top success for me, it would be, with this situation that I consider as top priority. You know what I mean? So when it says false success, I can see that. You know what I mean? Like, people could look at the situation and and say, oh my God, this is great, like, oh my gosh, and like say, I got a little bit of numbers going on here, or you got the comments going on, or people are just saying, hey, I like your readings, I like how you do them, blah blah blah, you seem like a real insightful person or whatever, and you get all these comments and things like that, and maybe some type of recognitions or somehow, and and people could say, oh well, that's admirable, or that's a success, and because they don't see the others, my top priority and what's of great importance to me, because there's a separation going on, and I don't really talk about what's going on with me personally in my life. They could think that, because this is like one of the top main things. I have a few other things that I'm trying to get off, jump started, but since this is one of the main things that could be seen as, people seeing it and taking it in and just saying, oh well, that's successful or what have you, they would say, it can be considered as, oh, that's this person's success, or they're successful because of this, or this is what they consider to be success in their life, when actually the main success that I'm looking for is, this situation, that I hold close and dear to my heart, and it hasn't happened. So, because when that happens, that is a true success. That is like the success I've been waiting on. That's the success that I've been working hard on and fighting towards, and that I want to see happen. Now, when that happens, these things like this is going to be, the secondary, thirdary, or fourthary, or, all the way down the line or something like that of that list. Because when people see that success, they're going to know that that is the success of my life and of my purpose, and for myself and all of that. They're going to see how connected my life is to that, with that situation, this situation that I hold very close and dear to my heart, so it's going to become very evident what is top priority, what is of more importance, or, what is the success of my life. This is, again, something that, I decided to take on because there's a separation that's going on with this main thing that is important in my life, of main importance, most importance, and that is of top priority, and to me, because there's a separation that's going on there, and it's prolonged, and there's a waiting time, and all of that. And so because of that, I've just chosen to try to create some sort of balance or whatever, chosen to go in this direction, because this is something that I felt like would be something that I wanted to do, or something like that. Okay, so I'm talking a lot about myself and I'm talking a lot about this situation, but I'm hoping that some way, is of help to those that it is of help to them, that they can resonate with this, what I'm saying. And again, if it's not, then, it's not. If this is not something that's resonating with you, then it's just not, and it's just something interesting to listen to or something. But yeah, so the Nine of Pentacles being in the reverse, I could, see how there's reckless spending, living beyond my means, and then false success. Okay, because this is not the number one success, with this here. I don't want to get into things, but yeah, this is not the number one success. There are other things, as well, in my life or about me, that can be considered as a success, but let's not forget the main important thing that I consider to be a success, and that is something that is of great importance to me, and that is a top priority in my life. Okay, number one priority in my life. I'm just separated from it because of different, reasons and things that are, just in the way, as an obstacle and a challenge and all of that. So, because of those things, I'm separated from this most important thing in my life, or top priority, something that I take of great importance in my life, that and someone or situation that I hold very close and dear to my heart. So if it wasn't for the separation, I would be, I would be, have success there in that situation and circumstance. Okay, so that's pretty much that. So I get that, and then what was it? Two of Wands. So just to kind of go backwards on that really quick, because Lovers, okay, that's two of Wands though, because that was the first card out, and then the Nine of Pentacles was the card to clarify that. So the Two of Pentacles in the upright, planning, making decisions. Wait a minute, no, that can't be. No, it was actually in the reverse. So it meant fear of change, playing it safe, and bad planning. So I've already, gone into that I feel like, there was, because of all this, of what I'm talking about, that there was a fear of change, playing, and I wanted to play things safe as much as possible, watching for any type of major changes that could be, that could come along with this, or any of the other things that I'm doing, and then bad planning, that, I have to admit that, this is not the best plan. I probably should have chosen something much lighter, because of my top priority in my life, being able to withdraw, yeah, because I'm thinking I don't want to go there, but but again, if I needed to take time off from this, I would be able to do that. So the Nine of Pentacles, again, just really briefly. Let me see. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Reckless spending, living beyond means, false success. So that's what it is. But something else just came to me about this. That it could, I don't want to mess things up. The reading is going pretty good. Yeah, it's going pretty good. So if I had reverse it though, because I'm always thinking about like how this first reader, this main reader is, oh my god, we're almost at 1:30. I don't want it to be too far, but anyways, that it could also be a situation that is not, if it's in the reverse, it can also be a situation that is not going on with you, and then because I said that it could be that it's the energy of someone else, someone that you know, or someone else. So I don't want to mix things up here, but this reader, she's really on top of everything, and she knows how to flip things and, get you the understanding of what she's seeing in the cards, So what I just said was that it could be that it is not something that's going on with you, but it could be going on with someone else. But I just liked how, I just incorporated all of that to say that living beyond means false success. No, this is for me. I'm not to say that. All of what I just said and the way that I read this is for me. Okay, so in the reverse is Page of Cups. So let's just go really quick. Try to. I don't know. I can't rush myself. I'm not gonna rush myself. I'm sorry. So the first card out was the Knight of Wands. So let's go back up and just briefly go over it. Like, I don't have to spend so much time on it. Let me see. Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands meaning in the upright, action, adventure, fearlessness. So of course I said that, that was my energy. I'm taking action with this, and this is something that is adventurous. And then just being fearless with it. Because of, me thinking about being unbalanced, the times that things just seem to be a bit unbalanced for me, because I'm pouring in or doing so much or giving so much of my time and effort and energy into what is considered to me to be a top priority. So sometimes there are times when I just notice that there's like an imbalance, So I can see where the fearlessness comes in at. Okay, so the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is a card that's on top of the Knight of Wands, and it's supposed to clarify it. So Page of Wands on top of the Knight of Wands, it's actually in the reverse, and it means lack of direction, procrastination, and creating conflict. So again, I just said that, I felt like, with this whole situation, that, I could see how I took things a bit too far, and spending so much time and my effort into this. So I'm saying all this, but tomorrow I'm probably still gonna, or my next reading is probably gonna be like 3 or maybe 2 or something like that. I'm just being completely honest here. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm just defining that. Let me see the Page of Wands, and I don't mean that like in an insensitive way, or like, I'm just saying that I'm being completely honest in this reading. Okay, and all of them, crystal clear readings. So just because I'm being called out here, so I decided to be honest, completely honest. Page of Wands, clarifying Knight of Wands. Again, Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is in the upright, action being taken, adventure, and then fearlessness. And then Page of Wands, in the reverse, lack of direction, procrastination, creating conflict. So I am procrastinating with this situation by just being over here doing what I'm doing, and not putting more of my time and effort and energy into the number one priority number one priority situation in my life, because I feel like I'm always there, and I know what I need to do, like when I get off of here or whatever, or whatever, because I spend a lot of time there. I've spent a lot of time there, and I know what to do to, get back on course, or to do what I need to do to make it balanced. Okay, so the next card to clarify the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands is the Page of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so I know this is like a lot of information and a lot of talking, so forgive me, but just tune in and out when you hear something that is it resonates with you, okay? And anything that doesn't resonate with you, or you don't feel like is your message, or you don't feel like it is for your situation, just dismiss it automatically, okay? So the Page of Cups is to clarify these 2 cards here. The first 2 cards. It's the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups, happy in the reverse. So it's emotional immaturity, insecurity, and disappointment. So I guess I'm saying, like, so the first card, Knight of Wands, is, I don't know, but this was a happy card. This was a Okay, other than that, I come back. So the Knight of Wands. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm going back and forth. I need to learn all of these. I'm so sorry, but because now we're already at 1 hour and 30 minutes. So Knight of Wands. Oh, there's the Swords, and then we're gonna go to the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands, meaning in the upright, taking action, and me taking action, and this is something adventurous for me, adventure and fearlessness. Then you have the Page of Wands. Okay, in the reverse, lack of direction, procrastinating, just, over here, big chilling, and enjoying it, maxing and relaxing. Let me see, creating conflict as well. There's conflict being created because of so much time being spent in this, and certain persons may be feeling a certain type of way, but I'm not seeing it as that. I understand, but I'm trying to create some type of understanding here because of the waiting time, the separation, and the waiting time with that situation that I consider to be as number one priority in my life. Okay, and then so there's the Page of Cups. So with that, I don't know, but I'm not keeping up with any of this stuff, guys. You gotta forgive me. To be able, like I was doing a few days ago. So let me see, Page of Cups, or just last night. Let me see. King, Page of Cups. In the reverse, emotional immaturity, insecurity, disappointment. I'm gonna have to do something else. I don't want to write it on these cards because I seen something else with these cards, so I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna look for the definitions, write them out, because this is just driving me up the wall, like having to use my phone and stuff like that. So, but anyway, so the Page of Cups, meaning in the reverse, emotional immaturity, insecurity, and disappointment. So I guess with all of this is emotional immaturity, some sort of emotional insecurity. I don't really want to go into that, but you can if you need to look it up or something like that. Emotional insecurity, being emotionally insecure. Emotional immaturity is the word. Emotional immaturity is the word. And then insecurity, because the word insecurity is here too. So and then disappointment. So yeah, I guess all of these things I'm experiencing or going through. I'm not going to spend much time there because we're already at 1:32. So I just, I have to read, because Knight of Wands, I'm just like at a loss. And then Page of Wands, I'm not sure. I'm so sorry. It must be, the almond shake or something going on here. But I'm just, Page of Cups, like, I'm looking at it here. Emotional immaturity, insecurity. So just going based off of memory, what I've been talking about. I've been I've been excited about, so the Knight of Wands, I've been excited. Thank you, Lord, for reminding me, like, bringing it back to my remembrance. But Knight of Wands, I've been excited about this move, and I'm taking action, adventurous, and something else. But yeah, I'm excited about it, but with it comes I guess recklessness or something like that. I'm not sure, but something comes with that, like recognizing that it's not the best decision, because I'm just doing too much. And then with the Page of Cups, emotional immaturity. I'm not able to put my finger in this. Are you saying that? Is it the truth coming out about, like, me being emotionally immature? I'm like I could be one of the most maturest people, like, and emotional. Like, I don't get too emotionally, like, but then here we have some, like, counseling, like, issues that are coming up here. Obviously, someone needs to be in counseling or something, because, like, this word here, just emotional immaturity. I'm sorry. This is a reading. I'm really trying. I'm trying to read it clearly here. Emotional immaturity. So obviously, with these two cards here, Knight of Wands and then Page of Wands. It goes here. Page of Cups goes with this as well. Emotional immaturity. I can see that. It goes here. I can't define it. Yeah, immaturity. Yeah, it just doesn't really. I mean, I could look up both of these words, but it's probably still not gonna, ring a bell or something. Then you have insecurity. So I guess in some way I'm being insecure. Um, you know, there's some insecurity here. I'm very much insecure, because my main priority and importance is somewhere else, so that's where the insecurity would be or would come into place because I really want to be somewhere else, or spend most of my time and effort, somewhere else. As far as having full confidence, if this is the only thing that I was doing and I didn't have my number one priority was this or something, then there'd be no reason for there to be insecurity or something because you're putting all your time, all your effort, all of this would be your whole baby, this would be your business, this would be everything, so there'd be no reason to be insecure, not majorly, and then so the insecurity comes because there's something else, there's another part of my life that is of great importance and of great significance to me, that is close to my heart, and that is number one top priority. So there is, insecure moments and times where I'm just feeling some type of way because, or, just with thoughts or just with feelings and I'm just thwarting them, because that, I'm not a lot of this time or a lot of my time and effort and energy is spent, here or, me doing this or in the other agendas, the other things that I have on my schedule now, so, not being so secure about that, I guess. And then there's disappointment. So, of course, there's disappointment. I'm disappointed about, the situation that, I'm happy, about this situation. I'm very grateful and, looking forward to it and everything like that. But I do have disappointment, as it concerns this number one priority of great importance, something that I hold very close to my heart, because while I'm doing this, that situation seems to be lacking, or that situation seems to be something's being taken from it, or a withdrawal, or it's missing some things, or it's lacking in some way instead of it being full, instead of it being as full as it can be. So, I mean, I can just take out, in a way to figure that out, I can just try to take out more of my leisure time to try and do things that would make that situation more full, especially since I've been there over 2 years and just, knowing what to do and knowing what it takes to pour more into that situation, so something's coming to mind now. And words are very powerful. Sometimes people need reassurance, and you just need to say something, or you need to, spend more time letting that person know, or letting the situation know that you're there, or you're they don't have to worry about missing you. When you're away, your mind is on what is top priority, and that it is that situation is a top priority to you. And I think I'm overlooking that. I've overlooked it for thinking that, oh, that situation knows, or that person knows that, I love them, or that person knows that situation knows that I'll be there, I'm always there, And sometimes people and the situation or circumstance needs to be reminded of that. It actually needs to be said, or some deeds need to be done in some type of way, shape, form, or fashion. Or else they're not going to know. How's a person going to know, that you love them if you don't say it? How is a person going to know that you want to be there for them or whatever it is if you're not saying it in some way, shape, form, or fashion, or if you're not doing things to show that you want to be there or that you love that person or whatever it is? How are they going to know anything if you're not doing or definitely saying it? So I don't know how, I've just taken for granted that situation, just they know, sometimes you're like, well, you're here all the time. Like, how do you not know? Like, I'm sitting here, I'm doing my business, I'm on my computer or whatever, but we live in the same house, or, we work at the same job, or if we're around each other, but sometimes things, if it's not said, it can be read as like that person doesn't care, or this person is, I don't know where this person is because they're not talking to me, or they're not doing the same things that they used to do, or something like that. So, it could be, that's what it is. So I don't know how I overlooked this. So something else is coming to mind, but yeah, so sometimes, we're so busy and what it is that, and so occupied with what it is that we're doing, that we don't take the time out to reassure others, or, certain situation or circumstance, that the things that they need to know, and things that need to be reassured to them, even though, because we've taken a step back, or we've withdrawn ourselves in certain ways, to something else, or to other things that we need to we find of interest, or that we're doing, so I don't know. This is something interesting, something, that would really mainly come up in counseling, because, a type of personality that, a person may have, or something like that. But this is something interesting. And I'm just thinking about it as I'm thinking about the not the Nine of Swords, the Page of Cups, meaning for the reverse, and that being disappointment. So I don't really know how I got there with that, but yeah. So sometimes, I am thinking about, how disappointing the situation is, because, somebody or circumstance, situation, is lacking in some type of way, or feeling some type of way. And obviously because of non-reassurance of, me being there, or me keeping them as top priority. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there with that. And then I still have like 3 other cards to. So hour and 42 minutes. So hopefully, of course, at 2 it should be wrapping this up. So the next cards are. So this is. I'm sorry again. A Knight of Wands, I have to go back there. Page of Wands, I have to go back there, and then Page of Cups. So I just went off of memory with that, just knowing that, I went too far. It was something I'm very excited about, or what have you, about creating even balance for myself, or what have you. And then Page of Cups, which is in the reverse, it means emotional immaturity, insecurity, and disappointment. So, it clears that, hey, you're being immature about this. You have you're gonna have some insecurity with this, and you're gonna have disappointment with this, even though this is something that you think is, an awesome idea, great idea. These are some of the things that are attached to it as well, just so that okay, so that's good. So I'm glad I got clarity with that. Like, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So the next card to that, Knight of Wands, the second card out was King of Cups. Okay, so let's go here and find the King of Cups. And I think I said that I identified with this. You have the Ace. Okay, I guess they're at the bottom. I don't know why it's like that, but so King of Cups, and the upright. I'm very tired. And the upright is compassion, control, and balance. So yeah, that's something that I definitely, felt for this situation, or in this time in my life. I feel, compassion about what I'm doing, and control, of my life by creating some sort of balance. wait a minute, okay, in control, because the next word is balance. So definitely in that energy when I'm, doing this, and then the other things that I also added to my agenda. And then, taking control, of the situation, or having control of the situation, is something that I'm very happy about. Okay, so that's the King of Cups. On top of it is the Nine of Swords, and that's to clarify the King of Cups of being in balance of things and in control of things. Sword. Oh, wait a minute. I guess it's the Pentacles. I don't went too far. Nine of Swords. Four. That's actually the okay. So Nine of Swords in the upright. Anxiety, hopelessness, and trauma. So I think just letting me know that that's what's gonna come with it, because I definitely do experience this at times. Anxiety, hopelessness, and trauma. Just and me thinking about my situation, like with the something that's very important to me, that I hold very close to my heart, and that's a number one priority to me. I do, from time to time, am thinking, having anxiety about that situation, hopelessness about when I think about that situation, and thinking about some of the trauma, so as far as the separation, yeah. So, Nine of Swords on top of the King of Cups, on top of the excitement or feeling in control of things or having balance. There's the anxiety, the hopelessness, and the trauma, and thinking about, the other situation of something that I hold of great importance, and of that is considered top priority to me. So there's anxiety and hopelessness and trauma as well when I think about it. Okay. So oh my God. Okay. So I have the Death card here in the reverse. All right. So let's do that. Death card on top of the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords that was in the upright. There's anxiety, hopelessness, and trauma. And then before that was the King of Cups. Just feeling like being in control and balance of something that's going on in my life. Okay, so this is the Nine of Swords. So yeah, there's anxiety, hopelessness, and trauma that came with that move of being in control and being in balance with things in my life. And now there's the Death card on top of the Nine of Swords. So let's in the reverse though. So let's see what this is about. Okay, so the Death card. So in the reverse, fear of change, interesting. Holding on, stagnation, and decay. Okay, so fear of change, I've already spoken about that. Holding on, yeah. Fear of change, holding on. Yeah, I'm still holding on to this situation. Stagnation, definitely being stagnant by staying, by holding this position, and by not, closing out to it, like I normally would do, just so that, I can be hopeful for the opportunity, for the separation, for there to be a change with this separation situation, with what is considered to me to be very important to me, something that I hold close and dear to my heart, and that is number one priority. So that's the reason why, I close out with things, is because, I'm hoping for a change with that separation situation. So I could see how, I'm still holding on to this situation, with this. Because normally I just, give up, or, make a change or leave or something like that when it comes to different situations. I have reasons for why I do that, just in my life, period. I don't know why that is, but that's so ridiculous. But anyways, that's unrelated to the situation I've just been explaining. But yeah, I mean, if it is something that I feel is about this number one priority in my life, then I'm going to, I forget exactly what I was saying, but I understand the fear of change, holding on to this situation, stagnation, and decay. Decay, I'm not sure. I have no idea. Yeah, because that's not really a good thing. Like, that word is not really good. I mean, I could look up that word, but I'm actually not going to go there. But, I mean, just, something that is diminishing or getting worse or something like that. Dying off or something like that. But, and then you have a death card here. So, yeah, this is, let me see, fear of change, holding on, stagnation, decay. Not wanting there to be a death to this situation. Because I'm sorry, I'm a little candle here. I'm just obvious. I mean, there's an obvious thing here. So yeah, not wanting there to be. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Just I'm thinking about something. Okay, but yeah. I don't see this ending anytime soon. So. This is, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I said what it is. Yeah, not wanting there to be a death with this, because I see that, it's of some benefit to me, or, it has benefits. There's benefits here, or there is benefiting to me. And me not wanting there to be a death. So I'm definitely holding on, fearing change in that way. Yeah, I don't want that to happen. Stagnation, I'm definitely being stagnant here. So these cards are speaking spirit. You are definitely talking directly to me. And not wanting there to be a stagnation. So really quick here, I just want to reiterate something I said earlier in these videos. For this reading here is that I see myself as, I don't want to say, that would say a hierophant. No, it's a hierophant, but high priestess. I hate to say that. I don't want to say that, but I just block that out. That's not what I want to say. But basically, that things that I say or that I do, like, it's kind of like it's prophetic, or it is seen to be as truth, and then also for like future tense, and also can be seen to be like something for that is happening. So not just for myself, but also maybe happening with someone else, or with others. Okay, plural. Okay, so it's like prophetic. And I've been told this by others, okay, people and persons that don't even know me, and by persons that do know me, okay. So I just want to say that. So if that's something that you don't recognize, you don't know, you're unfamiliar with, then it's the first time you're hearing it, then you can just drop it. Don't but if this is something that what I just said, if it resonate, you understand it, or you kind of get it, then I'm definitely saying that, because the things that I'm relating all this to myself. This looks like this looks like a Shakeba reading. I definitely want to say that it definitely is, but definitely don't worry about it, because there's definitely things that I'm saying that's being said that is also maybe true, or for you yourself, or maybe true for someone that that's close to you. Okay, it's a situation that's going on with them, or you definitely want to make sure that you're one of the first ones that this is it resonating with you. And if it is, then that's great. If it's something that stands out to you and is striking to you, then and you say, yeah, this is something that's resonating with me, then that's good. If it's not, then you're just listening, and dismiss it. You know what I mean? You don't want to confuse yourself. And if it's confusing, you're not sure, or so you're like discombobulated or something, because you're trying to figure it out, then just dismiss it and maybe come back to it another time or something like that. You want to oust confusion altogether. But yeah, so this is what I'm thinking, and this is really interesting to find out that there's I'm feeling this way, or this is what's going on with me here. Yeah. Because this isn't something I would have wanted to come up. This isn't something I really wanted to first admit to, that this is something I don't want, I'm being stubborn about, and that I don't want to let go of. that I don't want to let go of. I'm even speaking in a different tone here, but yeah, this is really interesting. So we're gonna go to the next set of cards, which is the King of Wands. Okay, so let's do that. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So, King of Wands. Okay, in the upright, big picture, leader overcoming challenges. So I said that this was something that I felt like I identified with, that this was my energy, getting the big picture of this, and day by day I'm getting, more of an understanding as to this. I did say that there was a reading that I got from another person, or, I just listened to the collective messages because, like, I don't have money like that, but, and from this other reader, is not the main one, but this other reader is in the top 5 that minds that I like to listen to. He did, I feel like he did a special reading about this, and saying that this is absolutely something that you need to pursue, and this is something, from like your ancestors, and this is something that would really be good for you. And it was really great. So I definitely feel like, I'm getting the big picture, here with this, and there's different things that ties into that, different messages throughout the day that, is confirming that, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, as it concerns, like, me getting started with this whole thing, so I've definitely resonate with that, identify with that. And then leader. So, as far as getting the big picture about things, being the leader, I guess in this, leading myself in this, or what have you. And then overcoming the challenge of not, of keeping this on hold and this being on hold. I want to reiterate this fact about whatever you believe in, you should absolutely go after that, whether it's, hope, love, or, about a relationship, or particularly about a relationship, or if it's about anything to do with like your family or something like that. Whatever it is that you believe in, whatever goals and dreams that you truly, truly, truly believe in, you definitely should pursue that wholeheartedly, and you shouldn't let anything disrupt or stop you or lessen that or interfere or any of that, because when you do that, you run the risk of never achieving it. I'm just gonna take it all the way forward there, okay? Okay, and or it being paused, or there being issues, with you achieving it while you're pursuing it, you're making steps and strides towards it. You could, run into obstacles and things that could hinder you if you're not really truly focused and you're not putting your all in that direction, to pursue those goals or that dream, that it means very much to you, it means a lot to you, it means everything, it means your whole life. Now, it could be a relationship, it could be a dream of, going singing, or being a singer, being a dancer, being a performer, being, whatever it is, being with your family, I don't know. It could be whatever your goals and dreams are that means so much to you. You should definitely 100% go after that, and pursue it wholeheartedly, not letting anything or anyone get in the way of it. With everything you've got, because it is, I guess, technically all that you have. And you never know, if you're a person like that's in my type of situation, we don't really have the luxury to say, well, I have a list of things that I can choose from, and either one of these things, I'm going to be successful in, or I'll be okay, or I don't really have that luxury, and I have to share that during another reading. What my situation is that, like, why this situation is so that I hold dear to my heart and close to, is because the walk of life that I've taken means that I can't afford to not, look at this situation, with this person or situation and circumstance that I hold close to my heart and keep as number one priority. I can't afford for it to not be a number one priority in my life. There was times, earlier when I was in my 20s or something like that, but yeah, at this point in my life, there can be, no, nothing like that. I need to be more serious and more real and more, focused and things like that. I can't really afford that. That's a whole nother type of like understanding and stuff like that. But yeah, just pursue your dreams and your goals, whatever it is that you're wanting to go after, and wholeheartedly, don't let anything or anyone stop you or hinder you from doing that, because you could not never achieve it. You're just going all the way left, or just going all the way to what is the end of that. You could not achieve it, and that's like the worst, you know what I mean? But is just gonna be a bunch of obstacles, and depending on the time, whenever you do achieve it, it could be months, years, something like that, so just depends. But it takes time, and sometimes time presents the best opportunity, or the opportunity of a lifetime, as they say, when it comes to things like this. And you just have to know when that time is and say, this is what it is, and I'm going to go for it, and this is what I'm going to do. Like for me, with this situation that I hold close to my heart, anytime the separation time is over and there's time for me to go to this situation and go to this, these persons or this person, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop everything that's going on, because it's number one thing of importance in my life, and number one goal, number one priority in my life, and goal as well. So I'm going to pursue that wholeheartedly. The reason that I'm not able to do it right now is because a bunch of certain obstacles that are existing or whatever, and then some challenges that are there, that are hard to overcome or something like that. So but yeah, I would definitely pursue that, drop everything and pursue it. So I definitely am a person of what I'm saying, you know what I mean? I have done that. I believe in it, and because once you get there, like, you're gonna be solidified in that, and you're gonna be able to move forward in that dream, in that goal, or whatever it is. Okay, but it may take some time getting there because of different things, different obstacles or challenges, but you have to do your best to overcome that and spend as much time as necessary, and time, effort, and energy of yours in that, so that you can get there, you know what I mean? And see it go, see it alive, see it come forward, see it happen. Okay, so I'm definitely a believer of that. Sometimes we take breaks, and sometimes you need to, but make sure that you don't do it too much. You don't come too far from it, and because you could never achieve it, you know what I mean? So that's that. I'm at a certain time here. It's like 10 o'clock or 10 p.m. where I'm at. So anywho, so King of Wands, definitely I was identifying with this card when it first came out. Big picture, leader, overcoming challenges. And then you have the Five of Wands in the reverse. Five of Wands in the reverse, avoiding conflict, respecting differences. So avoiding conflict and respecting differences, something that I'm so lucky to be able to go back here. So, and looking at the big picture of things at this situation, knowing that, I'm somewhat becoming a leader in this particular situation, as far as like leading myself to this, and overcoming challenges, waiting or procrastinating with this situation, of allowing it to be birthed, of allowing it to finally happen. I have the Five of Wands in the reverse to clarify that, meaning avoiding conflict and respecting differences. So I am aware that there's a bit of differences. So I want to be respectful of that and mindful of it, and then avoid conflict. So not making things worse. Not shedding too much light, not being too excited, about it. Like, not putting too much emphasis on it, because again, this is not the number one successful thing, in my life. It would be what is of top priority in my life, what is most important to me. Okay, so I'm going to finally put down this third card, this final card. So Six of Wands, okay, in the reverse. So let's check that out, and it's actually right next to it. So is excess pride, lack of recognition, and punishment. Oh my gosh. So yeah, so definitely I can say that, being prideful, being too prideful, not wanting to, come from this. Or just being in it, being prideful of this, being happy or, content with it, or taking it as a pride. I take pride in it. Excess, like maybe it's too excess, it's too much, but for me, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like, I'm just happy, I'm just the most happiest person with this. But sometimes you have to be aware that, it makes somebody, other people, or, other circumstances, situations where you were spending most of your time, effort, and energy, and it could make them feel some type of way, or feel lacking, you know what I mean? So then there's a lack of recognition, excess pride, lack of recognition. I'm not sure. Lack of recognition. What am I lacking to recognize, or to be in recognition of? I don't know. Lack of recognition. I'm not sure. And then punishment. So I don't know what that is. I don't know about punishment. I'm not sure about that. Lack of recognition. I don't. I don't know. I don't know. So maybe this, is something I just want to put a hold on right now for this reading. But I will recognize it. I will acknowledge that, yeah, this is definitely possibly my energy, or something that is happening with me, okay, in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And then punishment. That somehow there's a punishment here. With this move or something like that, because of me, withdrawing from my and with my time, energy, and efforts, being spent elsewhere instead of with my main top priority of importance in my life, something that I hold very close and dear to my heart. So that there's some type of punishment. It is. This is definitely a punishment. Anything outside of, what is mostly important to me, oh my God, is painful. I'm like, I don't want to do this. This is not something I want to do. This is not where I want to be. This is not what, and why is this happening type of thing? Because I would rather be here. I would rather spend my time doing this. I would rather be doing that. I would rather be something that is, minor or small, or, doesn't take away, my time and energy, my focus, off of, this main thing that is of great importance and of top priority in my life, so this is, like a punishment. It's like, in a sense, because it's a time away from, where I would rather be, what I would rather be doing, because I would rather be somewhere else, I'd rather be somewhere else. I would rather have my time spent, somewhere else. As far as what I take as priority and number one in my life. But because of a separation situation, with that, and there being a whole bunch of time waiting, then I'm doing this and other things. Just because this is the situation. Because the situation is that way. But yeah, so I can see how punishment can go with that as well. Okay, so now with the next row, the last row is Two of Wands. I do apologize. This is like over 2 hours. I'm sorry. But there'll be other times where it won't be half of this time. It won't even be an hour. Okay, it'll be like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe even 15 minutes. So every reading is not the same. Okay, so let me see. Two of Wands. Two of Wands. Two of Wands is the first card out for this row, this last row, and it's in the reverse. So it's fear of change, playing it safe, and bad planning. So I think I just went over like all of this. There's a fear of change, fear of changing, coming in this direction, playing it safe. This is still a way for me to play things safe, even though I'm coming and withdrawing from my main priority and something of great importance in my life. Okay, and then bad planning. So just by it being way too much time being spent in this and doing this. So yeah, that would be part of the bad planning, or that I could have chosen something less, not like this, because this takes a lot of my energy and things like that, or efforts as well. Okay, so I could have chosen something that was less energy, less effort, all that. Okay, that wasn't even this, like not getting started with this. Okay, all right, so this is a Two of Wands, and then there's a Nine of Pentacles that clarifies it. So let's see, but it's in the reverse. So let's see what that is. Nine of Pentacles. No, not the swords, but the Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. Okay, in the reverse. What is it? Oh my God. So two of Wands. Does anybody remember what it said? Because I just said it, but Two of Wands. I'm so sorry. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. It has to be the shake. I'm not sure, or the drink that I had. Okay, Nine of Pentacles. Let's just go there. Reverse, reckless spending, living beyond means, false success. But I want to go back to Two of Wands. Okay, let's go back to Two of Wands, because that is, I need to do that. Three of Wands, Two of Wands. In the reverse, fear of change, playing it safe, and bad planning. That's what happened, fear of this change. I had fear of this change, or changing things over to this, or coming to this decision to do this. But I considered this as playing it safe, and then I had bad planning because I should have chose something lesser, because this is like a huge move. Okay, so on top of that, to clarify, Nine of Pentacles. In the reverse, it means reckless spending, living beyond means, and false success. So yeah, definitely is adding to that. Reckless spending. With that, and I'm not even gonna go there. Living beyond my means, just more of making a decision that wasn't the best decision. False success, because this isn't my top priority. It isn't something that of top success. So it being even seen as that, it's not. This is false success. This isn't what I wanted to be shining, and for people to praise or what have you. This isn't the top one. This isn't the number one thing in my life that I wanted to be a shining success. Okay, it's not. That would be false. That's incorrect. Okay, this is not the number one success. It would be something else that I have in my life that is of top priority, is just not showing. It's just not happening right now, because it's on hold because of a separation and challenges and obstacles, and because of that, there's a waiting period, waiting time, and being hopeful for the situation to come together or happen, and that is a number one success. That is the success that I want to shine, that I want to show, and that other people that I would want other people to know and to see. Okay, but this is just one of the things that, I'm doing. But I can see how it can be seen as, false success because it's not the number one top priority thing in my life. The last card here is Six of Pentacles. And let's just go and check that out. Six of Pentacles, any upright, attached, stinginess, power, and dominion. But what was the Nine of Pentacles? I'm sorry. In the reverse, reckless spending, living beyond means, false success. So with that, reckless spending, spending too much, living beyond my means. This is definitely living beyond means. Like, because my time and effort and energy really, I'm so used to it being spent in, this top priority place in my life, or, something that I hold dear to me. I'm so used to my energy and time and efforts being spent in that this will definitely be me overspending beyond my means, okay? And then it being false success. I just went into that. And then, so you have the Six of Pentacles to clarify that, to further clarify the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands, oh my gosh, where there's just, not a good decision made there. I'm just sum it up like that. So you got the Six of Pentacles in the upright, which means, wait, Six of Pentacles. Did I read this already? Charity, generosity, and sharing. Or did I read 5? I read something else. Pentacles, right? Six of Pentacles. I'm reading Six of Pentacles. I'm just trying to make sure. I must have read something else, or I didn't read this at all. Did I? I didn't read this at all? Okay, so anyways, it's charity in the upright. Charity, generosity, and sharing. So, this is basically, what I'm doing is just, being generous in this sense, sharing, and I guess in a sense it is, being a charitable deed or something like that. But yeah, so, to sum it up, this decision that I chose to go in, and it happens to be overspending in. It also happens to be a charitable act of generosity and just sharing. So, that's just the reality of the situation. No ducking or dodging there. This is what the cards are saying, okay? So, I'm just, I'm really shocked. This is really interesting. I didn't know it was going to turn out to be all of this and, on me. But yeah, so, I don't know, I have to think about, like, all of this and see what, what to do about it, how to handle it, you know what I mean, like, what I'm gonna do, because it's obviously very telling, very open, very exposed, that type of thing. So I don't really know what I want to do, because with this Death card here, and even it being in reverse, it's saying that this is not something that I want to let go of. This is something I'm holding on to, and I don't want to release. It's in the reverse. I don't want there to be a death here, or with this situation, with this choice that I made here, doing this. So I'm just being very honest here. But what did I say? The Six of Pentacles. What was it? Because it's the last card. That this is a charitable act, generosity, and sharing. Yeah, so that's really what it boils down to and what it is. Because I have a number one top priority, something that's very, very important to me, and that's close to my heart, that I would rather be spending most of my time and energy, and I would stop this and anything else and heartbeat, just to be with in unity, or one with that situation. Right now there's a separation, so that can be reversed, and the very opposite of that. There's nothing I wouldn't do, go over the hills and go to the moon and back, or what have you, whatever. because, whatever it took, whatever challenges I had to overcome, whatever, just to, have that, that unity, and to have it be the opposite of what it is and what it's been, which is, a time of separation and a waiting time, a lot of waiting time with that situation. That is of great importance to me. That is of top priority to me. So, I mean, I'm looking at the time right now. It's kind of throwing me off just a bit there, but yeah, I'd rather be there, and these cards are, here to show it and to tell it. Okay. So yeah, this is reading. Like I said, it seemed like it was reading for Shakeba, but anything that like I said, it stands out to you, or could have been, you could see that it resonates with you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And I'm saying that I mentioned it before, and I mentioned it 2 times, but I mentioned it one more time. So basically, I've been told this by persons I've known, and that know me, and or by persons that do not know me. They've been complete strangers, and they've told me that you have like a prophetic, like gifting on you, and then mainly that. Meaning that some of the things that you say and some of the things that you do is prophetic, meaning that it is something that is true, and or it is something that is going to happen in the future. So as I've been saying all this, it could be something, these things could be something that is true for you, or something that is going to be true for you in the future, or something like that. Yeah, possibly, yeah. But I would say this seems more like a present tense, like something that's happening right now, something that's going on like now, and it doesn't have to be like, for me, this is like, obviously, persons I know, a relationship or something like that. But this could be, about something else, like something business wise, or something else that's going on, some other situation that you're going through, or some other situation with you and another type of relationship or something, that you're indecisive about, or that you can't make up your mind about, or that a move that you've made and you're happy with it, and you don't want to turn from it. You don't see a death anywhere in sight, at all, and you just you want to hang in there, because it's good for you and it creates balance for you. So, and that, but you see that there's this overspending. You've overspent, and you could have been lighter in your choices, you know what I mean? But this is something that at Knight of Wands you were very excited about, and that you felt like you could take control and have balance, and I wish I could remember, I knew all these cards and I could really just go off of that. But yeah, I mean, this is what I've been saying. Then maybe people are saying that you're a little bit arrogant, or you're a little bit stingy, or you're a little bit immature, emotionally immature, or you're overlooking them. You maybe getting messages that people are thinking that you're overlooking them, or you're not doing or saying enough, that says that you appreciate them, or says that you want to be in their life, or says that you want to keep them on board as an employee, or something like that. Okay. And it's better, even the smallest things, less people can let people know that you want to keep them around, or that you love them, or even the deeds. Maybe you weren't able to say anything, maybe you weren't able to tell them verbally, but maybe sending flowers, or having your secretary, or having someone email them or something to let them know, hey, I'm still thinking about you, I'm still considering you for this, that, and the third, or whatever it is, and I just want to let you know that, hey, it's still open, or you may have to wait for this or that, or we're waiting for this or that to come through, or something like that, whatever it is. And because otherwise they're going to think something else. They're going to have something else in mind. Maybe other things are making them feel like you don't want them around, or that you're making changes, or that you're moving on, what I mean, or that you don't care, or something like that. So words matter. Action speaks louder than words, but in this case, your words matter. You speaking and saying you love them, you love the person, especially as the relationships is very important, especially in like spousal, you're married or something like that, very close to that. It's, you have to do this, you have to say and speak and say all this stuff. And okay, yeah, so yeah, so this is what I'm getting here. This is what is coming to me. It's very interesting. I'm starting out and I don't even know what, how any of these cards and all this stuff. I'm having to look up the meanings, but it seems like at the end it kind of comes together. And I just want to do it my way. And I respect all these readers that have all these unique ways of how they read, and I'm just like, wow, they're really great at what they do, and I respect them for how they read and everything like that. But it only really inspires me to be the reader that I am, and what I be, and that's only time will tell what that is. Once I do learn these cards, I'm gonna take off. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, I mean, so this is really interesting to see how this comes out, and I'm just like, yeah, it's interesting. I guess I was thinking of like others and stuff like that, but I think this is the way that I'm going to need to do these cards. And once I learn more about the cards, and I'll be able to hopefully intuitively separate things, but in the right way. And I have a certain way of that I want things to be done, so and avoiding other things, okay, particularly negative things, okay, or messy things, okay. So yeah, so I stressed that 3 times in this video. I'll be saying it again just because that's how you can get accuracy of a message that is sent to you, or maybe like a confirmation that this message, some things that did resonate with you or that you did hear, are a message definitely for you, confirmation for that, if that's some way of confirming it for you. Okay, so definitely I appreciate you guys for hanging in there with me. I would lay out 3 cards, but I'm not gonna do that because this person is very they need to get it together. They need to change. They need to make some changes, because what they're being told here is that you got some people who are unappreciative of their selfishness. Apparently, they're being selfish, in their decisions that they made, and they need to pay more attention to what is considered to be of more importance to their life, of great importance, and of number one top priority, or they need to make it that way. But for me, it is that way. And I'm being told and shown that I need to do more in what I say and do to make sure that my top priority knows that how I feel, and that I'm not going anywhere, and not just for it to be assumed. Okay, and guessed. People can't guess what's on your mind. If you're not saying it, you could be thinking something else, or you could be feeling something else, or something completely different if it's not said, and that's just the way that it is. So I'm gonna close out with this reading, and found out a lot, and I appreciate your time and attention. And this is over 2 hours. It's going to be like almost 2 hours and a half. And of course, I'm going to break it up for you guys. But just thank you so much for, tuning in and checking me out and listening and everything like that. I really appreciate that. So giving me a chance to hear me out. All right. So thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next reading.